Alright guys, so we know that the 2020 election is right around the corner. Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys a few things that we all need to be mindful of before and after the election. So, let's talk. Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to another video. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Ed, and welcome to the channel. And if you are a new viewer, and you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more content such as this. Alright, so all that being said, let's jump into the video. Now I'm going to start off with saying this. In my personal opinion, I truly believe that this is one of the most controversial and divisive elections that I've ever seen. I mean, you've got Trump supporters blasting Biden supporters and vice versa. And it's just caused this conflict, it's caused this war between us. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't talk about politics and that we shouldn't have discussions about it, because we definitely should. But the fact of the matter is, we shouldn't get so passionate about it to the point to where it begins to divide us as people. So, that being said, here are 3 things I feel as though that we all need to keep in mind and remember before the polls close and afterwards. And the very first thing that we need to remember is that we shouldn't place our complete identity within a political party or in a politician in general. Why? Because a politician is just a person, and a political party, whether you're Republican or Democrat, they're comprised of a bunch of people. In other words, we as people shouldn't place our identity in other people, even if they're in a place of authority. Now, this is why I personally think that sparks fly anytime a Democrat and a Republican try to come together and have a conversation about politics, is because those individuals have placed their identity into that political party to such a degree that if anybody comes and tries to say something bad about it or say, no, this policy is better for this reason, I mean, they get heated. And to be honest, it's amazing how offended and how offensive we can be when it comes to politics, especially if you post about it on social media. I mean, that's an entirely different issue altogether. But with that said, don't place your identity in a political party or in one political figure, period. Now, the second thing we need to be mindful of is how to have conversations when it comes to politics. You see, one of the things I often see when I see conversations or hear a conversation about politics is that the other person are more focused on what the other person believes as far as the political party rather than actually trying to see where the person is coming from. Thus, this leads to people offending other people getting offended, and people shaming other people just simply because of what they stand for as far as politics. We've essentially placed politics over people, and that should never be the case. And even if the policies from either party aren't the best, and let's say you know the history behind the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, doesn't matter. If you want to have a civil conversation, an engaging and fruitful conversation with somebody about politics, you've got to be able to look past what you see, look past who they stand for, and see where the person is coming from. So in short, when it comes to having conversations about politics, place the person over the politics, not the other way around. And the third and final thing that we need to remember is that God ultimately decides and appoints who gets placed in office. The Apostle Paul makes this point very clear in Romans chapter 13. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. Therefore, whoever resists authority resists the ordinance of God, and those who resist will bring judgment on themselves. Paul makes it very clear that at the end of the day, anyone who's placed in that position of authority is ultimately placed there by God. And we should honor that person in authority because it's God honoring. And this goes past politicians. I mean, you got to respect your parents, respect teachers, your bosses, any person or any individual that has a place of authority. Now, your views may not be the same as my views, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to look at you differently just because of who you vote for. I mean, honestly, that's just ignorant and foolish. We may have different views, but we shouldn't let those differences divide us as people. You see, Paul tells us again in Romans chapter 12, verse 18, that as much as we can, as much as it's possible within our power, to live peaceably with all people. And that includes when having conversations with others about politics. So, at the end of the day, regardless of who you vote for, doesn't matter. Just make sure you go out and vote. But anyway, guys, once again, thank you very much for watching until the very end of the video. And also, what are your guys' takes on the upcoming election? Did you agree with everything that I said, or do you disagree? Let me know down in the comment section below. And also, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you can get more content such as this. And be sure to join me again next week, because next week's video, I'm going to talk about the 5 habits that I've adopted that has helped me be more productive throughout the day. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. And until next week, y'all have a good day. God bless. Much love. Take care.